Hey there everybody! In this video we are going to be talking about unit conversions with metric prefixes. And so I'm assuming you've already watched the video over unit conversions with US units, and we will build off of that video. So if you haven't watched that video yet, go watch it first. But now we're going to do unit conversions in general with metric prefixes. So let's do this by way of example. We'll start with this first one here. We won't do all of these, but we'll look at a few. So we want to convert 78.36 liters into milliliters. And so we need to remember what a milli is. And so we go to our metric prefix chart. We go, maybe just remember this value, that milli means the same thing as 10 to the negative third power. That is what milli means in metric prefixes. And so for our conversions, we're going to set this up the same way as before. We're going to start by writing the unit, or the number with its units, which is 78.36 liters. And we can choose to put this over 1, because liters over 1 is the same thing as liters. And we want to convert from milliliters to liters. And so I am going to, we have liters on top. We want to cancel by putting a liters on the bottom. And we're left with milliliters in the end. And milli means 10 to the negative 3. And so to keep the top and bottom the same, it says 10 to the minus liters. We need the denominator to also say 10 to the minus 3 liters. And there we go. That's pretty much it. A liter is the same as 10 to the minus 3 liters. Milli already minus 3. We need to put the 10 to the minus explicitly so that the ratio of 3 liters and 10 to the minus 3 liters stays the same. And when we grab our calculator for this, press on, and okay. Type in 78.36. I'm going to multiply control division to give me this fraction of 1 over negative third power. That's 10, 1, 0. I'm now going to grab the caret symbol, and then negative plus 1 times 10 to the negative 3, or 1 over 10 to the negative third. Press enter. Let's make sure our units work out here. Age, we have liters, canceling with liters. We're left with milliliters, and we have 760 milliliter. And that number should make sense. A milliliter and a liter. So we'll need more of to get the same value. And we'll set it up this way. If you use a calculator like this to set up ratios, 1 divided by, 1 over is just the same thing as typing 8.36, and then your division symbol, 10 exponent, negative 3, you the same value. So it's all powers of 10 with metric prefixes, which does make it a little bit easier. Let's do our next example. Let's these are all millis. Do we have any non-millis? Let's do 8 here. Let's go 9.4 meters to meters. We're going to remind ourselves that nano means 10 to the negative 9. Those are the same thing. Nano is 10 to the minus 9. And so we're going to start with 9.4 nanometers. And we are going to multiply by a clever form of 1 to keep the value the same. We already have nanometers in the numerator in the denominator, so it cancels. The unit we want in the end is meters. And nano already stands for 10 to the minus 9. So the denominator already has a 10 to the minus 9 in it, which means we need to put a 10 to the minus 9 in the numerator to divide by the nano that already means 10 to the minus 9 to get you 1. So this says 10 to the minus 9 meters divided by n is 10 to the minus 9 meters. Same thing divided by same thing. This is our clever form of 1. So in other words, 1 nanometer is 10 to the minus 9 regular meters. And now we're ready to plug that into a calculator. So I have 9.4. I'm going to multiply by 10 exponent negative 9, enter. And of course, the calculator just spits back that that is the same thing as 9.4 negative 9. E means times 10 to the negative 9th power. And we can leave this in scientific notation. So this one we could just write as 9.4 times 10 to the negative 9 meters with no calculator work really needed there. Next, I want to look at two examples where we're going from one unit that has a metric prefix to another that has a metric prefix on it. So let's look at number 9 next. So let's number these. This was 1, this was 8. Let's look at 9. 9 is starting at 6.32 micrometers. And we want to go to kilometers. Both of those have a metric prefix. When you're going from something with a metric prefix to another thing with a metric prefix, that's going to take two sifus, two clever forms of one that you multiply by. The first will take you from micro to regular meters, and the second will take you from regular meters to kilometers or kilometers. And so the idea in general is first convert to the unit without any metric prefix, and then go to the next metric prefix. Let's do what that looks like in practice. So, I know I have micrometers in the numerator that I need to cancel, and I want to go to the unit without a metric prefix, which is just meters. Micro already stands for 10 to a power, so we're going to leave the denominator alone. This is 10 to the minus 6, so I need to put a 10 to the minus 6 in the numerator, so that 10 to the minus 6 meters and micro meaning 10 to the minus 6 meters are the same on top and bottom. I'm now, micrometers cancel with micrometers, I have just meters, but I want kilometers. So my next clever form of 1 that I'm multiplying by is, I have meters in the numerator, so I need to cancel it with these meters in the denominator, and I want kilometers in the end. It stands for a power of 10. So I already have a power of 10 in my numerator. Specifically, it's 10 to the third power. So I need a 10 to the third power in the denominator so that this 10 to the 3 meters and this 10 to the 3 meters are the same, making this all just multiplying by 1. I'm now ready to plug this into my calculator. And when I do that, I will have 6.32 times 10 caret for the exponent, negative 6, times a fraction, there we go, 1 over 10 to the third power, and we will end up with 6.32 times 10 to the negative 9, which is something that, if you know your power of 10s in your exponent rules, you should be able to do without a calculator as well. So we end up with 6.32 times 10 to the negative 9. Where are we at? Meters cancel meters. We have kilometers in the end. Let's look at one more example of going from metric prefix to metric prefix. That'll be number 12 here. Number 12. I'm starting at 457 kilometers, and I want to go to millimeters. So it's going to be a two-step process. First, kilometers to meters, and then meters to millimeters. I already have the kilometers in the numerator, so I'm going to put it there. And K is already a power of 10, so I need an equivalent power of 10 in my numerator to balance things. Balance 10 to the 3 meters is the same as kilo, which is all 3 meters. We are then going to multiply by, we've got kilometers, cancel the kilometers. I want millimeters in the, and I have meters, so I need this meters to cancel that meter. Put it in the denominator. This little stands for 10 to the negative 3. So I need to include minus 3 in my denominator so that it is multiplying by 7 times 10 times 10 to the 3 over times 1 negative 3. Let's go ahead and plug that into our calculator. There we go. 457 times 10 third power times control division 1 over to the negative third power. In the end, I know it'll be 57 times 10 to the but that's not science. In science, this comes out to be 4.57 times to the 8 millimeters. And again, quick check, does that make sense? Yes, a millimeter is weight kilometer. Whole bunch of them to get to the same kilometers. That's how we do unit conversions with metric prefix. From a metric unit to a metric unit, there will always be at most two conversions, going from regular to the other metric. Prefix to no prefix, and then no prefix to the other prefix. If there is less units involved, all bets are on. There could be more versions. So this is a point where if you are feeling good about this and want to try practice on your own, you can stop watching the video. But I am going to go through one of the speed conversions below if you are looking at samples. So let's go ahead and do that. What would be a good one to do here? I like going from kilometers per meters per second. So let's do the first one. So this is problem 13 here. Start by writing down 21 1 hour. And I have 2 units to convert. I need kilometers to meters, and I need to go from hours to. So start with the kilometers. That one's more straightforward. I have kilometers in the numerator. I need to cancel kilometer in the denominator. And I want meters in the end. Kilo is a metric prefix to the 10th power. So I need to include a 10 to the third power to match. Says 10 to the 3 meters. So says 10 to the. And I can put a 1 there. Keep it 1. Okay. So I've done now kilometers, meters. I now need to go hours to seconds. I have hours in the denominator, and so I need to put in hours in the numerator. I don't know how many seconds are in an hour, but I do know how many minutes are in an hour. Hour has 66 minutes. The hours that's down there in the denominator will cancel with the hours that's in the numerator there. I'm almost there. I have minutes in the denominator, but I don't have minutes in the numerator, so that those cancel. And I do know how many seconds. In fact, it is 60 seconds that are in minute. And so I'm looking at the units that I have. I have meters in the numerator. I have seconds in the denominator. And we are good go. So I'm going to grab my calculator here. We're going to 21. We're going to multiply by 10 to the third power. We are going to multiply by the fraction 1 over 60. And we are going to do that multiplication twice, because we need to go from hours and from minutes to seconds. And when I press enter, I end up with that fraction. But if I press control enter, I end up with 5.833. I have 2 significant figures. So this is 0.8 meters per second. So there we have it. That's how we can do a speed unit conversion that includes metric prefix unit. Thank you for watching.